Hi, good evening. Welcome to Foreigner in the Philippines. I actually wanted to talk specifically about one of the things, one of the little projects that we've had that meant a great deal to me because it touched me personally very right to the heart. And that was when we were giving away one of the mattresses on our Sweet Dreams project from Sandman Steve. We went to a small barangay where we knew there were lots of children. Well, that's because we pass there quite often. If we go to see our friend Philip, or even go to see Beanie, or there's a school up there. Lots of reasons for going up that way, and we pass a place where there's lots of little kids. They're very appealing because they always wave and say hi or bye or whatever. Nothing more appealing than these beautiful children that you see in the Philippines all over. And while we were there, we actually noticed one particular little girl that we called Baby Jane. Her name is Jenalyn actually, but we called her Baby Jane. We like to get these catchy little names, and I thought Baby Jane. Remember that movie, Whatever Happened to Baby Jane? that was the title. That's what came to me. So that's the title we gave her. So what is it about Baby Jane that is so heartrending? And that is that she has a disease called osteogenesis imperfecta. I think that's the name. And it's a bone deficiency. There's something wrong in the bones. They're not as strong. They're more inclined, more prone to breaking. So fractures. Now imagine that in a kid, and you've got a serious problem. Imagine that in a very poor family, and you've really got a problem. Now this is a disease that we're told is not even easily curable, even in America, where we're assuming that an ideal scene in America would be a child that is diagnosed fairly early, the parents have insurance, or maybe in the UK where they get where a child would immediately be treated to what I consider is among the finest medical skill in the world. And if the girl was there in the UK, she would get immediate attention. I have to change the battery. Hi, we're back again. I had difficulty changing the battery over there. So Baby Jane, what's happening with Baby Jane? Well, as I was saying, that in different countries where they're able to give excellent health care, which is more easily available than it is here to a poor family here in the Philippines, it would still be a difficult disease to cure. So at best, I think that our subscribers, who seem to be more educated on this than I am, and gave me excellent references, which I still have yet to be able to get over because of my being confined to the house. I haven't been able to spend as much time online as I would like to, so we're not a great deal further on in finding out how best we can help this little girl. My feeling is that we're going to take her to Tagbilaran, and maybe we'll take the x-rays that we had done, 4 or 5, we have 4 or 5 x-ray pictures that we've had, and we will have her looked at there by another specialist. It may be possible that we will go back to where we first went, and that was the doctor that I actually thought was very good. He was the one that spotted what it was. It may well be that his estimate as to what the cost would be for treatment is actually much too high. He thought that the particular treatment that we would have to take the child to Cebu for was 20,000. Now, we always try to get in on these with the camera on to these interviews, and we try to get the surgeon or the doctor in question to say what the cost will be, because it can be doubted, you know, with the best of intentions and even the extraordinary degree of trust that we enjoy. We like to be seen. It's not enough to be trustworthy, I think, as in it's not enough to do good, you have to be seen to be doing good. It's not enough to be trustworthy, you have to be seen being trustworthy. And so nothing quite like the doctor saying this is what it's going to cost. Like with Desiree, who we still have to get into hospital, but we don't have the funding for that yet. The doctor said that the injections that she would need would be 6,000 a shot, and she would need 7. She would need to be in hospital for 7. This is Desiree that we're talking about now. She needs to go into hospital, and she needs injections which take place over, I think, a 4-hour span while she is confined, and those injections cost 6,000 pesos a time. So 6,000 pesos a day. She's in for 7 days. Work it out. Sebastian, where are you? So, Baby Jane. Baby Jane was even more staggering, according to the doctor, which has now been contradicted by someone, one of our subscribers. Sorry, I'm really bad at pulling in names when I get on camera and just remembering names. And sometimes, because this information comes through on my telephone, it's not always easy to find the post or the comment again that relates to the particular subject, because it's relating to, sometimes the current comments are relating to 10 videos, so it's difficult. So sorry if I'd blank on the names sometimes, but the cost that was quoted to us was 20,000 a shot. That's 20,000 an injection. However, it's not quite the same. It's not the same bad news as Desiree, because in this particular case it's only once a month, or what was deemed necessary by the next expert that we go to, the next specialist that we go to. So it may well be that that it's not 20,000. And anyway, for those of us of you who have been with us for a long time, you may remember that when we first reported to you that the gallstone couple had come to us when we were at church and asked for our help, and they showed us paperwork from the surgeon in Tagbilaran, and the estimated cost for the operation for that gallstone at that time was 150,000. Now, if you stuck with that, you'll find that my warrior princess, my wife Beth, actually got that for free. So all that we paid on that, as I've reported before, is 17,000. That's all that we had to pay. So we're hoping that we might be able to somehow produce another miracle with this little girl. Meanwhile, we've got her on what we can only call present time, in the moment action, which is to get her on a good mix of medication, which is in the main form of vitamins. So vitamins, and try to change the way that she's eating. We need to get up there. It's really difficult to do this, because if you're on foot and supposed to be taking it easy like I am, that nearly 2-mile walk down to the road is a killer on a road that is a killer for a 4x4 truck. So that's what Nanai and Lena and Beth are actually doing right now. They're doing that walk down to the road to go up to Taliban, to upload videos and to do all the things that we do connected with our mission. So that brings us up to what do we know about what's happening with baby Jane. Not too much more to tell you other than let me put something to rest that was a bone of contention and disagreement about this little girl. It actually broke my heart when the surgeon said that from the pictures he could see that the bone in her leg had broken. So, my next question obviously is, are you telling me that this little girl a year ago was struggling along on a broken leg? To which he said, yes, look at the video of that interview. Now, if you look closely at the pictures that we had taken, you can actually see a point in the middle. Let's look at it as if it's this pencil. Okay, so there's a point right here where you can see that it looks as if it's just crumbled. So it's not a break that goes across like this. It's where the bone actually shattered but still remained in the same place and then just gradually leaned out. So baby Jane has this swelling, what looks like a swelling in her leg, that shows you where the break is. Now, several people said, not possible. She couldn't possibly walk on a broken leg. Well, perhaps somebody should have been there a year ago and told her, hey, little girl, don't walk on that broken leg. But there was nobody to tell her that, and her family thought, well, she'll just rest up a little bit and it'll be all right. Well, it's not all right, and that's what we're trying to help on right now. So, end of the discussion about baby Jane. Thank you for looking in. This was a little special just on baby Jane because I thought that she deserves it. We do have a good contribution, a very generous gift from one of our regular sponsors, Model, and she sent, I've forgotten what the exact amount is now, but it's somewhere between 19 and 21,000, and we already had some money that had been sent by another sponsor too. So we've got some money there. We paid. We're all paid up to date. The hospital visit, the visit to see the child doctor for bones, and the X-rays and medication. So we're paid up, and we're hoping that we'll be able to have enough to be able to take baby Jane to with us, and that means taking the parents as well. That's why when we go to Tagbilaran and go anywhere, in fact when we go anywhere, it's not just a simple case of stopping by and picking up the child and taking her. It's never as simple as that. Whoever wants to come that's involved in the family, who wants to come, will come. And when we took baby Jane to the hospital, it should be noted that we sent a tricycle, Mario, our trusted tricycle driver, from Taliban. He rode from Taliban, he went to Burgos, which is about 18 or 20 kilometers. He went there, he picked up the family and brought them to the hospital and then waited to take them home again. Okay, now imagine that That's not a simple thing, but that's what we had to do. And then when baby Jane came out from having her consultation or examination, the family have to eat. So we take them to the little Candelaria that's over the road. That's a simple, I guess in America, in England you'd call it a working men's cafe. A simple place to eat. We fed everybody. Then we loaded them onto the tricycle. Beth had already got the vitamins and everything that had been prescribed, and we sent them home. So imagine the same logistics that are involved in going to Tagbilaran, which is like about a 2.5 to 3 hour drive depending on traffic. So we would hope to do that once I'm able to drive again, which is around a month's time, 3 weeks to a month, and I should be up and about. So once again I've gone over a little more, but I tend to do that. Thanks for looking in. This is a foreigner in the Philippines. That's what's happening with baby Jane.